What is going on, you beautiful people? It's your real estate go-to Deontay here as always, and today we're going to talk about the market. What's the overall, projections for 2023? I know so much stuff is going on, so I pulled up this video after doing some research to kind of see what the experts are quote unquote thinking about the market, and then what we're also going to do is a lot of this information is national. So we're going to take a look and see what it means for us in Orlando. So we have CBS News up here, and we're going to see what they're seeing in the market.
Potential or existing homeowners may be wondering what this year will bring to the housing market.
That's right. You may be wondering if you should be buying, continuing to rent, or remodel your existing home. Existing home sales dropped for the 10th month in a row last November, according to the National Association of Realtors. Sales of previous.
Now, I wonder if they're going to mention the interest rates. That had a huge deal in regards to the price drop. So much buying power was lost, and it shifted the market. It was like a shock.
Owned homes fell nearly 8% from October of 2022. That's down more than 35% from a year prior.
Here's what's interesting, though. Despite a drop in sales, home prices have kicked up across the country. The median existing home price for all housing types was around $371,000 back in November, and that's up from approximately $358,000 in November of 2021.
And a lot of reason we're seeing this uptick, guys, is because inventory supply, right? So even though the rates have been going up, there's still not enough inventory out there historically to kind of level out everything in regards to the prices coming down as well. So those premium properties, you're still getting multiple offers, above asking offers, because there's not enough inventory out still.
All right, Jason Lewis is here to help us figure it out. He is the
Shout out to that beard, Jason.
Founder and head of Parcel Labs, a tech company focusing on residential real estate data. Jason, let's just start with the very beginning of this. What's your forecast for the 2023 housing market? Buyers, sellers, who's going to win?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's an exciting time to be in residential real estate data. To talk about 2023, we really need to take a look at what happened in the last half of 2022. We had home prices starting to come down because of interest rates.
Right.
And so you have sky high appreciation from the pandemic now met with higher interest rates. And this has caused an affordability crisis. And so in the last half of 2022, that has set the stage for what's likely to occur in 2023.
Don't you love a nice graph? Look at that. Look at the graph. The graph is graphing.
So there's two potential paths here in regards to 2023. Path one is we go into a recession. So that adds a third factor
scary recession
to home prices. We have the sky high home appreciation from the pandemic, higher interest rates.
And you guys hear that. I'm going to see if he gets into it, but that was a huge deal, right? So just to give you an overall, around 3 to 5% is a regular appreciation you can expect, especially in Orlando, more or less. Okay. Now, what the pandemic did was, let's just say a normal 3 to 5 every year is normal. Pandemic did 20%, 30%. For 2 years, homes were appreciating, right? So it was crazy. That's why the prices were so high. So let's see if he gets into that a little bit further.
It's in a recession. This brings out buyers that have less secure jobs. So it's going to be an illiquid market because there's not going to be enough buyers to purchase homes. In the second path, we still have to keep tight control over inflation. And so the Fed will be carefully monitoring interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
In this scenario, we don't have to worry about the recession job security components. But home prices still need to come down because interest rates aren't going back to 3.5%.
Listen to him, people. If you are waiting for interest rates to go back down to 3s and 2s, you missed the boat. All right. You heard what he just said. They're not coming back down to 3.5%. Right. So don't let that be one of your main reasons why you're still renting a home. I'm glad he said that. You heard him say it, not me. Right.
So for more buyers to enter the market, home prices need to decline a bit further. So in both scenarios, I see home prices coming down.
And so then, Jason, if there's a potential home buyer out there now, what's the next data point they should factor into a decision? Is it if interest rates, it sounds like you're saying at best would stay flat. So where is our indicator about if a recession is kicking in now or if it's not happening yet?
By the way, people buy in recessions, people buy in upswings, downswings. My whole adage is it doesn't necessarily matter in regards to what the market is. It matters what you and your family need and want, right? If the boxes check for what you and your family need or want, you buy, you sell, right? No one can ever time the market. No one has a crystal ball.
Sure. So if I was a home buyer in today's market, I think there are opportunities to be on the lookout
Most
for.
definitely.
And you can look for these by looking for motivated sellers. So who do we know to be motivated sellers in today's environment? iBuyers. iBuyers are in the
Boom.
business.
Spot on. So iBuyers are like your Zillows, your Open Doors, your offer pads. I actually targeted a lot of these 2020, 2021, especially when homes were selling in 12 hours because some of their practices, right? iBuyers serve a purpose for some reasons. But quite frankly, in regards to an agent who lists a home, they're a little bit more responsive. They're jumping on the deals right away. So with the iBuyers, it took a little bit while because it's more so of a corporate kind of feel. If it's after a certain time, you're not getting that responsiveness back. And that saved us a lot of times when houses were flying off the market because an iBuyer home, they want to get back to people as quickly as someone who listed the home, and I took advantage of that, right? So there wasn't huge bidding wars or anything like that on there. And now in this same situation where, buyers are a little bit more hesitant to purchase, the same rule applies, right? And we'll see how he articulates the iBuyer situation, but you're able to negotiate. They're a little bit more motivated as opposed to someone who once again is represented by a realtor who has a little bit more negotiation skills per se, right? They're going to their bottom line, for lack of better terms, is going to be different from an iBuyer. So I'm glad he brought that up. Let's go into what he says.
Of making money per home flip. Well, in today's market, particularly in markets like Phoenix, they're losing about 15% per transaction.
Boom. So that is why they may be a little bit more motivated for your offer as opposed to someone represented by a realtor, right? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 10 to 20% below.
So I would look for listings that are held by iBuyers and go in with great offers to give yourself an advantage. The second type of seller I would look for are developers.
That's
at
a
the
good
beginning
one.
of the year, housing starts were at a 5-year high. And there was also high labor costs and high construction costs. And the housing market was going through the roof. Well, that is no longer the case. And so developers are motivated to get out of this market as well. So I would contact developers and I would build relationships with them and be persistent on offering 10 to 20% below what their current asking price is.
Now, in regards to offering 10 to 20%, it's two different caveats, right? You have your smaller developers where you may be able to negotiate down that far, but you also have kind of the big box developers and new construction people who I also have relationships with, and they're offering some incredible incentives to where you don't even have to get that. They're giving you even more, right? So for instance, one of the developers I work with is giving 4.9% interest rates right now. They're covering your closing costs. They're giving you appliances, right? They're throwing so much out at you on top of an affordable price, right? And some of them are able to negotiate the price as well, 1 to 2 to 5%, but 10 to 20, you often don't see that right off bat for the big box guys. But that is a phenomenal strategy that I'm currently actually using for a few of my buyers right now, hooking them up with new construction because like I said, 4.9% interest rate where the interest rate right now is like 6.2%, 6.5% is incredible. Oh, and your closing costs are covered. It's a win-win for both sides. So smart guy.
Yes. And then the third thing I would look out for is listing characteristics. So if you see a listing that has frequent price cuts, particularly on a home that's been on the market for over 30 days, that could be an opportunity to get a really good deal.
Now we call that a falling knife, right? So just like he said, 30 to 45 days, if that listing has been sitting there, we have a little bit more negotiation power. So just envision it as a seller, right? The longer your house is on the market, the less say so that you have, right? So you, one, as a seller, want to sell it within that 2 week window, but two, on the buyer side, like he's saying, if you see it those 30, 45 days, we're going to be able to ask for a little bit more price cuts, closing costs, and stuff like that. So that's a great point.
In today's environment.
All right, great advice there. Jason Lewis, we appreciate you connecting with us.
Jason killed it, man. He really did. He had those 3 great points that are all true and still relevant with Orlando, right? So even though it's more so of a national perspective, he spot on with what we're experiencing in the market. So let me know what you guys think after this video, where you guys are at in the process. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and always remember, right? You guys know by now, always remember in real estate, there are only 2 people that can get you exactly what you want, okay? That's D and you. Talk soon, guys. Peace.